All he wanted was the safety of his princess. What he received was eternal torment. Bereft of a soul, a wraith who should have no ties to humanity, Bene wants nothing more than release from his twisted existence. Trapped between life and nothingness, he hopes to reclaim his soul and find the death he so desperately desires. Bene finds rare solace in the company of Fiorin, a satyr war hero who chose exile over continuing the centuries-long war with the Fae. He doesn't look at Bene with fear and contempt, but rather hope. If a wraith can find a path to redemption, perhaps he could as well. Alright, so The Dark Archer, plot-wise, is sort of your quest fantasy novel. There is our main character. He's kind of struggling a bit. He's been turned into a wraith by a princess that he was meant to be protecting, and it hasn't gone well for him. He's trying to sort of go on this quest and figure out how to die, because he can't die. He feeds off of the life force of others, and he can't die. So it's kind of unfortunate, poor guy. So he goes on this quest. He gathers friends who are going with him to help him on his quest, or to sort of improve their own state of being, or to just kind of get out of where they are. And, you know, I liked it. I liked the fact that this took what was familiar and made it into something that was both unique and still precisely what you would expect. Now, there is one bit that I will say this does quite differently, and I like that quite a lot. And this is the fact that most of the story, while you have your quest elements, you have your various side adventures, you've got the bit here, you've got the bit there, things that need to be solved, that sort of a thing. But you also see a lot more of the internalization with the character, thoughts and their own struggles with things like PTSD or mental illness or depression, anxiety, that sort of a thing. And I liked that a lot. This book doesn't just say, oh yes, rah, we're gonna go on an adventure and save the world or whatever is at the end of the quest. It focuses more on internal journey as a focus for external journey, and you know, I haven't seen that as much, and I like it. I think it's great. I think it works really well. As far as the characters go, Fiorin is probably my favorite. He's really fun to read. He has kind of this weirdly bizarre, cynical optimism, and I think that's just really fun. I mean, Bene is great. He definitely does well with this whole journey, but I like Fiorin. It's quite great. It's quite fun. My main critique for this story is that on occasion the internal journey does kind of supersede the external journey, so you get situations where we've had a lot of sort of thinking and internal character development, and that works really well, and then it sort of just stops and becomes very action oriented, and I get that. It makes perfect sense that you have to have sometimes times that don't get internalized. You need to have those breaks in pacing, and life is pretty much like that. You have times where things move very quickly, and then times where it doesn't. And I think it works, but there are a couple of times where the action and the serious consequences that it has feel very abrupt. It's almost like you've had so much in the way of journeying, and then you get to a waypoint or a plot point or whatever, and everything happens really fast. And I get that these events are important and you're not going to have a lot of time to internalize them while they're happening, but it feels like things just kind of whoosh every now and again. And I think as far as pacing goes, that kind of doesn't fit with the rest of the novel. Now, this is fairly minor. Most of the time it's just fine with the pacing, you don't have any problems, so it works. There's just every now and again one or two things that I would say, okay, take a breath, slow down, add a couple more lines of description, that's all we need. That sort of a thing. But on the whole, I would say that this book is really nice. It takes your standard fantasy and it makes it so much more in depth. It gives you more tangible emotions to grasp onto, and I like that it doesn't shy away from discussion of, you know, things like depression and anxiety and PTSD and guilt and all of those things. I like that a lot. Yeah. So as far as this book goes, I would definitely recommend it. As usual, you can find all the links in the description box below. I shall leave them there, as well as the interview that I did a while back. Yeah. I don't remember how long it's been, but a while back. You can find my links there too if you're interested. I got a new book. The printer finally delivered. Yay. Anyways, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. I hope you have a good day, and I hope things are not too crazy as they still seem to be here. So, anyways, that's all I've got for you, so I shall see you next time. Bye.